Hello internet world and welcome to a new video on the Geekanoids channel. It's a weekend, so we are doing a Q&A session and ask me anything. So you can ask me absolutely anything in the live chat, and anything that's sort of appropriate, not too rude, keep it clean, I will answer in this very video. Now before we start the Q&A, I just want to give you an update on a few things that I've seen over the past few days. I watched the SpaceX, what was it called? Titan Heavy, something like that. The SpaceX launch. Wow, unbelievable. Now, I'm not really into space exploration as a sort of a bigger subject matter, but I watched the launch, which was mind-blowing. I can only imagine what it would have been like to actually be there and see it in person. But when the boosters came down and actually landed, I was blown away. I was absolutely speechless. It was just so amazing to see. If any of you haven't seen it, of course you can see it happen on the many YouTube videos that are up online. But it was very, very cool. Now, just one more thing before we start the Q&A session. I just want to give you an update on the LG V30. A lot of you asking when I'm going back to the OnePlus 5T as my daily driver. That will probably happen latter part of next week. A lot of you also asking if I'm going to do a full review of the LG V30. Purely because of a time aspect, that probably won't happen, but I'm going to give you a little update in this video, and then if you've got any questions about this or indeed anything else, then you can put those in the live chat. This is a really good smartphone. I'm really enjoying it. Battery life is fantastic. The screen is awesome. It has got that blue tint when it's off axis. The speaker quality is cool, the camera very cool, including that super wide angle lens. We've got dual cameras on the back, of course, and the fingerprint sensor, and it just works extremely well. I'm really enjoying it. It is a superb phone, and I wish I'd got one of these earlier to do a review when it was a new release. But really very good indeed. The case I'm using is a Rink Fusion. That's my case of choice for many smartphones. And all I can say is that the LG V30, if you're looking for a larger screen Android smartphone, an alternative to the Pixel 2 XL, then this has come down in price now, and it's well worth considering. I've got it in this blue colour as well. Very nice indeed. Now, as I mentioned at the beginning of this video, this is a Q&A. It isn't Ask Me Anything. We've got the live chat going. So if you want to leave me a live question, then you can do that in the live chat. If you want to leave a super chat, hit the dollar symbol. Not only does that support the channel, it also means that your question or comment is highlighted. And if you're watching this after the video has gone live, so on the main Geekanoids channel, then please do leave me a comment. I answer as many questions as I can in the comments. I also appreciate it if you're new, if you do hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications too. I publish a new tech video pretty much every single day. So anyway, as always in the live broadcasts, I say a big hello to the first 4 in the live chat, and I'm going to say a big hello to Tech Irala, Sumyunath, the Gaming Duck, and Rob Pinchbeck. Hello to you for being the first 4, but a big hello to all of you for tuning in. I really do appreciate it. And let's jump in to the live chat and have a look who else we got here. We've got John Williams saying hi. Lots of you all saying hi. Sumyunath with the first question of this Q&A session. Will you get the new HomePod? Now, I will get one, but it's not going to be at launch. They are available and in stock in many retailers in the UK, so I could get one delivered tomorrow. But alas, I had the flood recently, and one of the victims in the flood was the iPad Pro. It no longer even turns on. And I've got no other iOS devices to actually set it up with unless I borrow one from another family member, which is hardly ideal. So I will try and cover the HomePod, but not at the moment. I've got far too much that's being organised outside of the editing room with getting the room rebuilt that was affected by the water. So that will happen, but not straight away. And it does look like an amazing device. And Rui Abru coming in with a similar question. Your thoughts on the Apple HomePod? Are you getting one? Well, with regard to my actual thoughts on it, early indications from other reviewers are that it sounds very good indeed. Personally, I'm a little bit disappointed that it's been released without the full set of features, i.e. multi-room isn't supported, AirPlay 2 we're still waiting for that to be released. So that's a little bit of a shame. Also a little bit disappointed with the limitations of the music services you can use with it. I think Sonos have got it really right in the range of services that they're offering, and if you look at the Sonos Play 1, their latest small speaker with the voice assistant built in, that's going to be upgradable. So not only does that support Amazon Alexa at the moment, it's going to support Google Assistant in the future, and it will also support AirPlay 2 as far as I know. So that's really interesting as well. But certainly the HomePod does sound as though reviewers are really enjoying the audio quality from it. So Apple have done very good job on actually tuning the audio signature and the audio quality that the HomePod actually puts out. So it's really encouraging early reviews. If any of you have picked one up, let me know in the live chat. I'd be really interested to hear that. Alex Anderson saying a big hello as well. Hello to you, Alex. And Chris Bryson loved the SpaceX video as well. It's absolutely incredible. I totally agree. I even showed it to my son yesterday, showed it to my wife in the evening, and they were both amazed as well. Obviously, very similar reaction to mine actually, which was the takeoff. The launch was amazing, but the boosters coming down was really good. And the core, that was I was quite sad that the core didn't land on that drone ship. It sort of missed and landed in the sea at 300 miles per hour. But yeah, I was a little bit disappointed with that, but apparently they weren't going to reuse that core anyway. So, you know, but unbelievable. Very impressed. F2.8 Studio, it's 4 AM here in North Carolina. Hello to you and to everyone out there in North Carolina. Thanks for tuning in. I have no friends says, what was your first smartphone? I've had this question before and I can never give the definitive answer. It was either a Nokia or it might have been a Motorola, and I'm sort of erring on the side of it being one of the early Motorola phones. And I know it was like a brick phone, very big phone, and it was just amazing. Looking back to the phones back then, you know, the batteries were big, it was bulky. I don't even think there was any texting. It was purely just for calls, and very expensive even back then. But I do remember it very well. We've also got Sumu saying, didn't watch your video for a week. That's a shame. Tune in every day. Really good videos went up last week. Horse Cow Gaming says, can you please help me? My MacBook Air keeps flashing a file at startup. Really difficult to sort of address these things from a distance without actually seeing it. But what I would try and do is get onto another computer, search about resetting your PRAM, also the SMU as well if you search that, and perform those two tasks, and then try and start up in safe mode. It might be that just the startup sort of files have become corrupted, and if you start up in safe mode then you can do some more troubleshooting on it. Other than that, I'm not sure at the moment. So, but try those few things first. Sumyu said, you don't have any Apple device. What happened to the iPhone 10? Well, Sumyu, I've covered this in other videos as well. So just to catch you up, the iPhone 10 is no longer. Even though I was gifted that one, I talked to the person that gifted it, and they agreed that if I wasn't going to use it on a daily basis, if it was just going to sit on my desk and be used for the occasional video, then they were more than happy for me to return it and use those funds for something that I would enjoy a lot more. A lot of people in the live chat on previous broadcasts, and indeed on the comments and on Twitter, simply didn't believe that I was going to leave the iPhone behind as my daily driver. And indeed, I'm really pleased that I made that switch. I can really say 100% now, especially since using the LG V30 over the past couple of weeks for sort of testing this out, that while I was using the OnePlus 5T, I was still missing things about iOS and the iPhone. I wasn't missing the issues and the bugs, but I was missing certain things. But now I can really 100% say that I'm no longer missing my iPhone, which is, I never thought I would say, not in a million years, but I really am not missing the iPhone anymore. The Shield WWE, what do you think about the Huawei P8? It looks like an interesting phone, very, very interesting phone. They're releasing a lot of models lately though, so choose wisely between the Huawei phones and of course the Honor smartphones. But yeah, it looks really interesting, looks like a good choice. Paul Sergidis says, what are your thoughts on LED TVs versus OLED? The gap's closing between them. OLED obviously gives deeper blacks, much better contrast, a lot more detail in those deeper areas as well, and just a stunning quality image. LEDs, if you're buying sort of low to mid-range, sometimes the blacks aren't deep black, so you're going to get like dark grey, and sometimes you get more backlight issues on LEDs. But certainly with LEDs and their local dimming areas, things have improved a great deal. So if you're going mid-range up to high-end on LED, you're getting a very good picture quality. And sometimes LED TVs are better for gaming because of the better response time, but OLEDs are closing that gap backwards as well, so they're sort of meeting in the middle. And also the price points are becoming better on OLEDs, especially if you buy last year's generation of TV. If I was choosing a new TV nowadays and budget wasn't an issue, so I could spend whatever I wanted on a television, I'd probably go OLED now. I don't do enough gaming to justify a really fast response rate LED. So it's difficult, very, very difficult. Fiberific says, how are you going? Did the plumbers sort out the nightmare? It's still ongoing. We're in a drying stage at the moment. Alex Anderson, have you seen the rumours of the Samsung Galaxy S9? Yes, I have. The announcement or launch is happening very, very soon, as we know, and I will be watching with great interest. Quite a few people have asked me, do I think it's going to be a big enough upgrade? And I think Samsung have taken a good stance this time round, because in previous generations, when they've launched a new Samsung Galaxy S smartphone, they've gone for this quite big jump in specifications, and especially with the Galaxy Note, we know that that didn't work out to their advantage. With this one, they're doing like refinements, so I think they're pulling back on the camera and looking at low light capability, which is a good thing. Battery life and battery management will be really good. They already make great screens, so I think it's going to be a good all-round phone, but I don't think it's going to be that mega upgrade that everyone has to have. But I certainly welcome the fact that they're ironing out all the kinks and maybe listening to their users and delivering us something that's really very good indeed. Sumu Nas says, will you get the iMac Pro? No, I won't be getting an iMac Pro. I've got a 27-inch 5K iMac behind me here, which is super fast when it comes to processing videos. From what I've seen of the iMac Pro performance, it's very good indeed. There are issues, there are quality control issues again from Apple. Some people getting their iMac Pros arriving dead on arrival and having to return them or wait until they get more stock. And the difference between performance between what I've got here and the iMac Pro isn't that great, especially when you do lots and lots of things in business rather than just edit all day. If I was just purely sitting there editing all day, then maybe the iMac Pro would be justified. But for me, I'm quite happy with the combination of my Mac Pro here and then the iMac Pro when I need to render a video very quickly. I'm more interested in what Apple's going to do with the next generation Mac Pro, hoping that they give us back some sort of modular design upgradability, and I'll be more interested in replacing my late 2013 Mac Pro with whatever Apple release, hopefully sometime during 2018. The Shield WWE, what gaming console do you have? I used to have, up until a few weeks ago, the Xbox One X, but unfortunately that no longer works. And I'm hoping to replace that very soon, so it will be the Xbox One X. I don't think I'm going to switch back to the Sony PS4 Pro. I think I'll just stick to one console. And also we've got Alex Anderson coming in with another question. What software do you use for these live streams? Well, Alex, I have done a whole video on what I use for the live broadcast, but just to recap, I'll cover off the software and the hardware for you. So I'm using my Mac Pro here to handle the live broadcast. It's wired in, so it's a wired internet connection, really fast internet connection as well. The upload speed's very important, of course, for live broadcasting. And I'm using, connected to that, the Rode NT USB microphone, which you can see just here. And then off camera, I'm using an Elgato Camlink, which connects via USB to my Mac Pro. and then on the other end it's got an HDMI connection, and then I connect the HDMI cable to my Sony AX53 video camera, which is plugged into the main, so I haven't got to worry about battery life. So that's sort of the hardware connections. And then for the comments, I'm using my MacBook Pro just off screen here, so I can actually read the comments and questions and answer them. And then software wise, of course, Mac OS X running on the Mac Pro, and then I'm using Wirecast Pro, the latest version of Wirecast Pro, to handle the live broadcast. And that allows me to have sort of my main camera, virtual screen set up. In fact, I'm not going to share the screen, but I can drag this so you can just see it in the background here. So you can see my Wirecast software here. It's not a very good view for you, but I can see my preview screen, the main live screen. I've got audio meters on there as well, and I can actually also add in virtual screens. So I can add in a second camera angle, for example, or I can share a website with you or a screenshot, and I can interact with the software while the live broadcast is going in and switch between cameras. So it's a very, very capable piece of software. There is also a free version of Wirecast which has a watermark over it, and then you can pay about £10 or $10 to get rid of that watermark. That works with every version of Mac OS X apart from High Sierra. The fact that I upgraded to High Sierra forced me to upgrade to the Wirecast Pro version. So that was something I didn't think about before upgrading. We've also got Sumu saying get some RGB lights for your background. If you've watched my editing room tour, you'll know that there are lights around the desk area here. So I have already got lights, they're just not turned on at the moment. The Shield WWE, what do you think is the best phone Samsung released? Well, the best phone Samsung ever released was the Samsung Galaxy S2. In my opinion, it's still used by a lot of people nowadays, and it was the video that got me the most views on my channel. I think it's almost up to 3.5 million views. But seriously, the phone itself, I think, was the game changer for Samsung. That set the ball rolling on a really good smartphone. The Samsung Galaxy S was of course good, but the S2 was probably the first phone that really delivered what people wanted. So I think the best overall in the history of Samsung phones was probably the S2. Nowadays, I probably think it was out of the current range, probably the S7. I think was probably a nice sweet point as well. The S8 was good, but didn't overly impress me. But still a good smartphone. They're all really good. They're really all good. Alex Anderson saying he must have missed that stream. Thank you for going through it. No problem, Alex. Always happy to help. If you've got any questions at all that you don't manage to get into the live chat, then please always @ me on Twitter. You can I'll put it in the live chat there. If you follow me on Twitter, you can actually @Geekanoids on Twitter as well. John Berry, did you watch the technology of the Winter Olympics opening ceremony? Those drones were amazing. I saw the drones, the ones that were controlled in all different sort of formations. I saw that on the internet. I didn't watch the live ceremony because at the moment I've got no television. So I know it's sort of sad emoji face. No television to watch at the moment. So I'm watching everything on catch up or on YouTube. So I will be watching that Winter Olympics opening ceremony probably this evening on catch up TV. But no live television at the moment to watch, so it's a little bit tricky keeping up with things. But anyway, it's all good fun. It's all amazing fun. Actually, I want to share this with you. Sorry to dive off camera. I actually got this delivered the other day, and I love sharing things like this. I still like physical books. When I was doing my business time video the other day, I showed you this. I use moleskin books primarily. I used like a diary. This is like a little sort of gridded, like squared notebook as well that I use for keeping a track of things. And I use those for my business. I still do sort of digital versions of appointments and things, but I still like keeping a physical paper, pen and paper copy. And I bought one of these just for a motivational factor. I love being able to motivate you guys and girls in the business time series and in my other videos as well to really push yourself to enjoy each and every day. And whilst I was doing the business time series, I talked about organisational skills and time management. And that business time series is proving to be very popular. A lot of you are appreciating all the tips and tricks that I'm sharing with you. And I saw this on Amazon. I haven't put a link down in the video description yet, but I will do, so you can check this out for yourself. But it's basically called the 6-Minute Diary, and it just gives you some really good tools in here for writing down how your day's gone, what you're grateful for, what good deeds you've done in the day, what advice you'd give to yourself, sort of thing. It's really well laid out, and I've only had it for one day, but I'm really enjoying it. I've completed one page, obviously, for that one day, and it just takes you 6 minutes, basically, every day to spend on yourself and recap the day. Rather than planning ahead, it's sort of recapping what's happened, and I really enjoy it. Great motivational tool, and I'll put a link to that down in the video description as well. Adam Jones, which current tech sites do you visit on a daily basis, and who are your favourite tech YouTubers? Well, tech websites, I tend to check Mac Rumours, also 4.3 Rumours for cameras, and Canon Rumours and Sony Alpha Rumours. With regards to regular websites rather than rumour websites, DP Review for camera news every single day, 4K Shooters probably once a week, TechCrunch I check more or less on a daily basis as well. With regards to favourite tech YouTubers, I don't really watch a lot of tech videos on YouTube. I watch sort of camera videos, and I watch videos, for example a blog to watch, watches TV, and things like that. So tech videos I don't watch too many, and I think it's because I use YouTube as like an informational website for me. So it's when I need to know something, and I'm not saying I know everything about technology, but because so much comes into the Geekanoids studio, and I get to handle it sort of first hand and review it, I then don't need to research it because I'm doing my own sort of experience with it. So for example, I wouldn't have watched many videos on the LG V30 because I knew I was going to experience this for myself. Same applies to the OnePlus 5T. But really good question. Joseph Kumar, can I buy the OnePlus 5T? Well, I'll share a link with you for the OnePlus 5T in the chat. Let's do that now. And if you use this link to buy the OnePlus 5T, I'm not sure I'm going to be able to put it in the chat, but I might be able to. If you use that link that I've just put in the chat, that gets you a bonus voucher when you buy the OnePlus 5T, so it's well worth using. Denzo, apologies if this has been asked before, but do you have any trouble with demonetization of videos where you review products, or do you only do videos of the products that are supplied to you? Well, a mixture of both. You know, most of the products, I say 95% of the products that are featured on the Geekanoids channel are actually ones that have been sent in by the manufacturer or their PR agency, and I've had a few issues with demonetization on really random videos. For example, I did one on some hard drive RAID systems, and I think it was because it had the word RAID in the title that they got demonetized. So I appealed them, and eventually they got remonetized again. But thankfully, touch wood, I haven't had too many issues. Probably about half a dozen videos in total of the almost, I think I'm almost up to, wow, it's probably about, I haven't done a count lately, but probably up to about 5,000 videos in total I've got online, and I've only had about half a dozen. So yeah, not too much of an issue. We've also got Joseph Kumar saying, Dave, I'm live in India. Hello to you in India. That is awesome that you tune in from so far away. That is very, very cool. John Berry saying that the link doesn't work for the OnePlus 5T. It definitely works, John. I've had people say it doesn't work before, but it definitely works. If you at me on Twitter after the live broadcast, then I'll send you an alternative link, and you can try that out. Hopefully that'll help you with your order. Russ B saying good morning, Dave, and I feel really bad because I see names of you that I recognise in the live chat, and some of you tune in just as I'm going to end, and then I feel really bad for winding up the live broadcast. But we are almost at the end, so I'm going to take, for fairness, I'm going to take 2 more questions and then we're going to wind things up. So we've got Denzo saying, thanks Dave, love your content, addicted to your mega collections playlist. Awesome, I've got another mega gadget collection coming up, I think the latter part of next week, so stay tuned for that. Harry K is asking, have you updated the OnePlus 5T to Oreo? No, I haven't updated it yet, but I will plan to update it when I go back to using that on a daily basis. John Berry saying it must be because he's in Australia for the OnePlus 5T. Let me see, actually, let's do this live. Let me get you a link for the OnePlus 5T, because it's well worth it. It's like, if you use this link I'm going to share again in the live chat, it basically gets you a bonus voucher that you can use on accessories, so it's well worth it. So let me get you this link. Here we go, we do this live, so this link should work for you, just for you, John. Here we go, try that link instead. That is the direct link that what it basically does, I'm always transparent about these things, is it gets you, I think it's a £20 or $20 voucher when you order your OnePlus 5T. So whatever your local currency is, you get 20 of your local currency, and in return I get 100 points. And then I save up those points, and then I can order accessories, for example, like a OnePlus 5T backpack. So it gives me a little bit for referring you, and it also gets you £20 or $20 of accessories, which is enough for a case to go alongside your OnePlus 5T. So that is it pretty much for this live broadcast. Thank you very much for watching. I really do appreciate it. I say this every time, but I'm truly grateful for you taking the time out of your day to watch my videos, and I hope you enjoy them. I also want to wish you an absolutely amazing weekend. Make it count. Have a fantastic weekend wherever you are, and of course I'll see you again next week for more videos on the Geekanoids channel. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.